In 13.4, we're going to solve square root equations, and they're going to be linear. So a couple things just to point out to you as we get going. Today's lesson, that square root is going to be already printed on the page. You are not adding it to the equation. So since it's printed in the problem, we don't have to take the absolute value. That's only when we add it to the equation. So if we're not having to include the absolute value, that means we don't do plus or minuses when we take square roots. You only do this scenario when we add the square root. The other thing you got to be aware of on this lesson is that there could be some extraneous solutions. Notice the extra in there. So there may be some solutions that are just not possible. So how do you know? Well, if you're working the problem and you have a square root and it's equal to a negative number, that's going to be an extraneous solution. It can't be a negative number. And the reason is, if you think back to when we did the parent functions of square roots, remember it looked like this? And whatever x value you plug in, it gave us a positive y value, right? There were no negative y values. So it can't equal a negative number. So any negative number scenario like this, where you have a square root equal to negative, is an extraneous solution. So plan of attack. The way we're going to solve these is pretty basic here. We're going to isolate the square root. Remember, it must equal a positive number. That's why I put this little note here. It must equal a positive number. Then, once you've isolated it, you square both sides of the equal sign, and then you solve it. So let's try a couple of these. Look at number 1. Square root of x minus 12 equals 0. I need to isolate the square root, so I need to move this negative 12 over by adding it to the right. When I do that, I get the square root of x equals 12. Now I'm on step 2, where it says square both sides. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other, right? So if I square the square root of x, I get x. And square 12, I get 144. And there's my answer. Now you can stop and mentally check this. Look back. If I put in a 144 right here, if you took the square root of 144, that's 12. Minus 12, is it 0? Yes, it is 0. So let's look at number 2. Again, I want to isolate the square root part, so I need to move that 1 over. So I'll have the square root of x equals 4. Now I'm going to square both sides. So I'll have x equals 16. All fine and good so far. So let's do number 3. 8 square roots of x plus 1 equals 3. So I want to isolate the square root, so I need to move this 1 over by subtracting. So I have 8 square roots of x equals 2. Now I need to divide out that 8, and let's reduce that. 2/8 is 1/4. Now I'm going to square both sides. So on the left, when I square a square root, the x pops out. And on the right, when I square a fraction, you square the top. 1 squared is 1, and then you square the bottom. 4 squared is 16. All right? Now, there's my answer. Now, if I go back to check, it's a little trickier, but look, I'm just doing the square root of 1/16. So remember, when you take the square root of a fraction, you take the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom separate. So the square root of the top is 1, square root of the bottom is 4. So this is basically saying 8 times 1/4. Well, 1/4 of 8 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So it does check out just fine. All right, let's look at number 4. Let's isolate our square root by moving that 16 over. So I'm going to have 5 square roots of x equals negative 15. Divide by 5. And now I'll have the square root of negative 3. Now maybe you remember that rule that we talked about at the very beginning, that a square root cannot equal a negative number, right? Because someone asks you what's the square root of 9, you give them 3. You don't just jump off to negative 3. You always just say 3. It's 3, right? So this should be a clue. This is your clue that this is an extraneous solution. So you would just write no solution. Okay? Now train your brain to look for these patterns. Now, if you didn't catch it, let's say you didn't catch it and you carried on and you squared both sides, you could finish it and get that x is equal to 9. But then if you went back in and checked it, if you do this, like put in 9 for x here, Square root of 9 is 3, so 5 times 3 is 15. So 16 plus 15, is that equal to 1? No, it's equal to 31, so it's way off. So it's not a valid solution. So might as well stop here before doing the extra work that's not valid anyway, right? Let's keep going. So let's look at number 5 here. Now, first thing I notice is that the x part of my equation is on the right, and I really would prefer it to be over here, so I'm going to switch sides here. I'm just going to rewrite this like this and make that equal to 1. All right, I just flipped it. Now if I isolate the square root, I need to subtract 4 from both sides, right? That will give me this negative square root of 3x plus 4 equals negative 3. So now alarms are going off because I have it equal to a negative. However, there is a lead negative on this one that I need to divide out. So all hope is not lost. These negatives go away when you divide by the negative. So I'll have the square root of 3x plus 4 equals 3. And now we're at the square both sides of my equation step. And I'll have 3x plus 4 equals 9. Now it's just a basic linear equation to solve. All of them will be that way today. So I'll have 3x equals 5. And then I will just divide by 3. So x will equal 5/3. There's my answer. All right. Now let's try one last example. This one looks a little different because it's going to have square roots on both sides. Square root of 2x minus 1 equals the square root of x plus 7. So this is weird because it got square roots on both sides. Well, the good news is we already isolated the square roots, right? They're already alone on each side of the equal sign. So at this stage, I will just start by squaring both sides of my equation. So when I do that, everything just pops out and I can solve. So I'm going to start solving with my x's. Move the x's. So I'll have x minus 1 equals 7. Add 1 to both sides. I get x equals 8. And let's just check it. It's always a good idea to check it if you can. So let's see. 2 times 8 is 16. Minus 1 is 15. So this is the square root of 15. On the right, it's 8 plus 7, which is 15. So this is the square root of 15. So sure enough, that is the correct answer. So today's assignment, you're going to have linear equations to solve. Nothing more than just an x to the first power once you've isolated and gotten everything out of the square roots. So hopefully this will make sense to you. Let me know what questions you have, and we'll see you in class.